Dispatchers help callers on the worst days of their lives. For over 25 years, we've been there. A silent partner in millions of calls thanks to our redundant and diverse networks that ensure call delivery. Today, cities are bigger, traffic more congested, and the challenge is more complex. But you're never alone, because InDigital is quietly improving, implementing, and driving the next generation of 911, so you're supported in every situation. Make the switch at InDigital.net.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Yo, what is going on, everyone? I'm excited to be back, and it's been a little bit. It's been a couple weeks. Usually, I do this every Sunday. However, it looks like we're glitching out here a little bit. Hopefully, that clears up. But again, usually this is on a Sunday. But for the past few weeks, my mom has been visiting, and I want to spend time with my mom and the family. So that's what I've been doing. But I'm back. We've got a lot to talk about this evening, and I wanted to make sure to do this tonight, this evening. I know we're going early. Usually I go at 9, but I wanted to go early so that we can get a bunch of stuff out of the way, talked about, and all that good stuff. So welcome back. Welcome back to Open Mic Live. It is April 28th. Holy moly. Yeah, we're already going to be going into May. It's going to be May. That's right. Big shout out to InDigital. Thank you very much for, as always, being a sponsor of the podcast. Big shout out to subscribers as well. Thank you all so very much. But all of you who are here watching, listening, supporting, and sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Again, we have a lot to cover today, and we are going to do so. But as always, what we do with Open Mic Live is we check in with each other. So how are you doing? How are you feeling? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm happy to be back and to share with all of you. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with my family, and especially with my mom and stuff. But I always love being here with all of you for Open Mic Live. And again, it's probably odd because we're doing this on Monday. Every so often I do it on a Monday, and it's usually when I'm traveling. And for this whole month, I've been pretty much traveling the entire time. But again, how are you doing on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. What is your number? I'm coming in at an 8.5, especially because I found something. Actually, let me take that back. I didn't find it. My mom found it. and it's 7:41 p.m. right now, so she is currently on a plane headed back home to Florida. Which, Mom, I love you, miss you already. But this past weekend, we were at some garage sales. Yes, we were at garage sales, and we were looking for, just anything, any cool stuff. But what I was looking for was a VHS player. I hope you guys know what that is. VHS player. That's what I was looking for, because I have a bunch of old VHS tapes, and I wanted to show my kids. So we were out looking around and everything, and we just happened to walk up into one of the garages, and we were looking around for some stuff, and the girl that was there, she was telling us about the prices, all this other stuff, and my mom goes, what we're looking for is a VHS player. Do you have one of those? And she goes, actually, I do. She goes, I should have brought it. It's at my home. And my mom goes, are you willing to sell it? And she goes, yeah, I'll sell it. And my mom goes, how far do you live? And she goes, not too far, only like 25 minutes. And I was like, oh. So I got it. I didn't get it until today. However, still got it. And when I'm done with all of this, I'm going to check it out, check out some of those old home movies, and buy an adapter so that I can transfer all of those videos to just like a thumb drive and have them just in case something were to happen to those tapes. We would have a copy. Woo! So I am super excited for that. And again, just so many things that have been going on. And but let's start out here with episode 599 went out. 599. And that was with my good friend Amy out of Buncombe County in North Carolina. And holy moly, man, if you have not watched or listened to that episode yet, please make sure to do so. That is such a powerful episode. Amy's talking about what it was like for them during Hurricane Helene, like the Asheville area. That was a hard episode to edit. But also we had to record twice. Yes. I had everything set up. We were recording in her EOC room. We had the wireless microphones set up, and we were recording, right? And I set everything up, or at least I thought I set everything up so that no phone calls would be able to come through. Also, at the time, I thought, who's going to call me at like 8:30, 9 o'clock at night? No one. No one's going to be calling me. Well, I was wrong. 20 minutes in, and someone called, but I thought, I'm pretty sure I put it on Do Not Disturb, so it shouldn't do anything. Well, I hadn't. So we go through the whole episode, okay? We go through the whole episode, and when we're done, I'm like, yes, we did it. That was awesome. That was perfect. And then I go to look at my phone, and the screen is black. And I thought, no. And Amy goes, did it not record? And I said, I'm pretty sure it did, but I'm not sure what's going on. So I end up checking my phone, and it only recorded 20 minutes of it. So I listened to the last part, and I said, do you have time? And she goes, I have all the time. I was like, oh, thank the Lord. Thank you, Amy. So we end up recording that from that one question, we end up recording, and the episode came out great. It was so good. And Amy, thank you again, and everyone there at Buncombe County. Thank you to the North Carolina 911 board for bringing me out to do my class out at Henderson County and New Hanover County. A big thank you to the directors there, everyone who was involved, all the people in the classes, those that shared during Imagine Listening, those who were there for the episodes. Thank you, all of you, for everything, because it was excellent. So again, that was episode 599, and holy moly, I'm currently working on, and I know that I mentioned that I was working on episode 600 about a week or so ago, and that I had some secret guests that were going to be on. Well, sometimes you've got to call an audible, and just trying to work around a bunch of different things, because I've been traveling, people are busy and all. I'm working on episode 600. Okay. It's still going to be coming out this week, but it might be a little different. Either way, I'm excited to get an epic episode 600 out to all of you. And that is no easy thing to do. A lot of people, when they get into podcasting and everything, they're so gung-ho and just like all about it and wanting to do this and that. And they will get several episodes, and then they start to fall back or do other things, and you end up going into what's called pod fade, where, let's just say, for example, you've got a podcast that comes out weekly, and eventually it's like bi-weekly, and then it gets longer and longer to where it starts to fade out, because people don't know when it's going to air anymore. But also the person who's doing it, potentially, they end up, life happens, or maybe material runs out, or maybe what they were doing in the beginning, let's just say, like, how people get hired and stuff like that. There's that type of education is awesome, but sometimes there are folks that end up running out of information, so then they start dabbling in other spots. They bring on people that are working for companies, or they start trying to dabble into storytelling, and maybe it doesn't work the same or whatever, but a lot of times people end up just until they're not doing it anymore. And my buddy over here on Instagram, Fletch, what up, Fletch? Fletch says, you need consistency, and when it's not your job, it's a lot of work to keep up with. Yes, I agree with consistency, but there is something that everyone always forgets, not just in podcasting, but in anything that you're doing on your own a lot of times. It's discipline. You need the discipline as well, because you're not always going to want to do it. But if you really believe in what you're doing, you need that discipline as well. Consistency is awesome, but if you don't have the discipline to continue, you're going to fade out. And sometimes that happens. And that's okay. That is completely okay. Because for years, this wasn't my job either. For years. And I was doing it all for free. Yeah, I got little bits of sponsorships here and there, but it wasn't anything to make a living on. And I think that's another thing too, that sometimes people get into something and they're like, well, this is pretty easy to get into. I could probably make some money off of it. But then sometimes people get in their heads and they start thinking about the numbers. And they're like, I'm putting out a lot of good stuff. How come people aren't listening? Or all they're thinking about is a way to make money. And it's not always like that. Like, you really got to put in the grind. So like my homie over here, Fletch, this dude had been doing it for a few years before I did. And I came into it, and he and I were the first ones who were in the podcast zone that Nina had up. Excuse me. And it was Fletch and I doing podcasts on 911 and stuff. He was doing the tech side and EMP stuff, and I've been doing storytelling since the beginning. And it's a tough thing, man. It's not as easy as people think. I mean, it's easy to get started now, and it's easy to establish some sort of following, especially now on social media. But before that, dude, it was like grind, and it's still grind. And I love it. I would not change it. No, Fletch over here says anybody can do 3 podcasts. A lot of people can do 10. A couple people can do 20, but when it gets more than that, it fades away. Right. Because you're not focusing on one specific thing. And it's not as easy as people think. It's just like traveling around and in teaching or speaking. You know, a lot of times, and don't get me wrong, I'm grateful. I love it. I love what I do, and I will continue to do it. And this isn't to scare anyone. It's just, you know, sometimes people see the way it looks on social media, but they don't see that sometimes, like me specifically, and I know I've mentioned this before, I'm just talking about the grind that it's taken, you know, to get to 600. That's a lot of time away from home. That's also, it's a lot to do when you're traveling, and it can take a toll sometimes. Like if you're not taking care of yourself, is what I'm getting at. If you're not taking care of yourself, it's a hard thing. You start falling apart. Yes, my buddy Joe Serio up here. It's not glamorous. Yeah. Joe, that dude, he and I were at the ranch and we were talking, and we were just sitting there talking about how cool it is to just be able to relax a little bit. And I said, yeah, dude, I mean, other than us texting and stuff, I saw you on social media, and what, you were gone from home for like a week or two. It's hard. Like sometimes my kids would be like, oh, you get to have all this good food and all this other stuff. And I'm like, yes, good food, good company. Again, I love what I do. I am grateful for what I do, and I feel blessed. But sometimes when you're on the road, you're ready to go home and just have a home cooked meal. Shit, I would go home and just make a quesadilla for myself and just like sit there and eat it and chill on my couch or watch wrestling with my kids. You know, sometimes people will be like, how come you don't go to some of the parties and stuff that are at the conferences? And I'm like, because a lot of times it's on a Monday and it's at 8 p.m. and I am sitting in my room FaceTiming with my kids while on my iPad, I'm watching wrestling with them. Because it's fun and it's what I love to do. Kim over here says, and you are making a difference. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for saying that. And like I said, I love it. And I love to be able to make a difference. Joe says, like you said, it's a choice and we love to do it. And let's not mistake it for comfort or ease. Right. Joe says entrepreneurs are the only people who work 80 hours a week so they don't have to work 40 hours a week. Dude, that is a good saying as well. Yes. No, I like that. But also when you're doing stuff like this, or just in general in life, when you think about boundaries, if you don't say no, eventually you will always be on. So if you're not going to say no, switch that no around and it's on. You'll always be on. So many things, so many lessons learned. But that grind to this epic 600th episode that's coming out, damn it, I wouldn't change a thing. Because I love it. And I love all of you for helping me get there. Because again, if it wasn't for all of you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do today. And I appreciate every single one of you. It has been a journey. It has not been let me take that back. It has not been an easy pathway. Seriously, it has been hard. It has been tough. And there have been times where I've thought, am I making a difference? Like, I hope I am. But then there are folks like you, Kim, and others that I've spoken to who are like, dude, you're doing great work. Continue doing it. Don't stop. And I don't, because all of you are my why. And it's why I do what I do. Kim says the difference is you have a passion for your purpose. That's what makes it worth it. Yes, exactly. And you can tell when there's someone who's doing something for purpose and people who are doing things for money. You can tell. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I could, I would do this shit for free because I love it and I love helping, but I need to make a living too. Yes. So it has been a journey, man. Coming up here on episode 600. Oh, when I first started this, never would I have imagined that I would hit episode 600 or have millions of downloads or the I Am 911 movement or Imagine Listening or books or any of that. None of that was on my mind. And honestly, it still blows my mind because I just feel blessed. Just like I know my buddy Joe and a lot of others feel as well. Blessed to be able to do this, to be in your lives, to help you in any way possible. Blessed. That's how I feel. And it's been an honor, man. So episode 600 is coming up. Look out for that one. It is going to be awesome. Also, there have been tons of new community members that have jumped on. And that's the trenches. It's building up. Now that things are settling down here at my home a little bit, because I wanted to spend as much time with my mom and the family as possible while she was here. So I wasn't jumping into the community as much, but I'm going to be jumping in there for the rest of this week, posting stuff and starting to post community events that are going to be free for us to all check out and do so many other things. And Fletch over here says, as long as someone is getting something out of it, I'm a happy camper. Yes. Agreed. For real. I agree, man. So with that said, episode 601 is going to be coming out the following week. And let me switch the audio over here really quick. And again, like I was saying, my internet is being kind of weird. So hopefully this plays. But I want to share this clip with all of you here really quick. And this is with my guest, Rain. And it was such a great time to have her on. And so this is a little preview, a clip. It has gone out on social media already, but I want to post it here as well, or show it, not post it. I want to show it here so that all of you can check it out.
I think in some ways I feel like it's almost unpopular to say. In some ways it has changed me positively, but in some ways it has changed me negatively. Mm-hmm. And I would say both are true. I would say in positive ways, first off, it's made me much more aware of my own community because I dispatch for where I live. I bought a house in the city where I live. So it's like part of my job is very personal. It's like, these are sorry, I'm choking up. This is
You're
like,
okay.
this is my city, like my people. It's created a level of care and awareness of my community that I would say I did not have before this job. I would say some of the negative changes, I've noticed I'm much more impatient. And I think some of that comes from doing so many things at once all the time in succession, moving very quickly.
So that was a quick clip from episode 601 that is going to be coming out in just a couple of weeks. And the video is called The Emotional Impact of Dispatching. But what she was responding to was the question of, how has this profession changed you? And I just love the raw emotion there, when she's talking about all the positive things and how it has become just so personal for her as well. Joe says, gotta go, brother. Have a good one. Thank you, Brosif. Have a good one. And if you're traveling, stay safe, man. I think a lot of us have, kind of that emotion as well. With what it is that we do. I mean, we connect with all of these people, but especially when you are working in a place that either you grew up in or that you currently live in, it makes it that much more personal. And sometimes you might see some of those folks that you spoke to and you want, right? And maybe some people have. I know I've spoken to someone that I knew that didn't know that I was the call taker. I didn't offer it up. It was more so when just they asked, and I wasn't going to lie. I wasn't going to say no. I told them that it was me. But there have been times, when you work in an area like that, or you're in a scenario like that, where you kind of, do I say that it was me? Do I say this or that? Or, what happens? Some people do, some people don't. Again, I've been in the situation a couple times where, well, more than a couple times, where I said I was the call taker. One time specifically, I know I've talked about it before, but one time specifically, one of my aunts called and I answered the phone, and she was upset. She was scared. She thought someone was breaking into her neighbor's home. But it it turned out it was one of our deputies, because they were doing extra patrol because the family there was out of town. So they were doing their rounds. Like a lot of you at your centers, you've got a list of people who are going on vacation, and they call and they ask for some extra patrol. But before I could tell her that, I was trying to calm her down a little bit, and I said to her, it's me. I said, it's Richie. And she goes, oh, Richie. Oh, okay. It's you. Okay. Okay. And, and she felt a lot better. She calmed completely down. And then I was able to say to her, it's one of our deputies. Don't worry. It's actually one of our deputies. And she looked closer because it was nighttime. And she looked a little closer and she goes, oh, I see the car. Okay. Okay. And I said, did you want to speak to the officer? And she goes, no. She goes, I just wanted to make sure, it was nothing crazy going on. And I said, no, it's all good. They're just doing extra patrol around the area. And she's like, oh, okay. Okay. Well, that works. But yeah, I definitely feel what Rain is saying there. And also, I think a lot of us in this profession end up becoming a little more impatient a little bit. And we have to, especially when we're at home, we have to relearn. We have to practice it, because in 911, everything is go, 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 go. But that's also when, at least speaking from my own personal experience, when that you have to work on it a little bit, because I was the same way. I'd be at home. I'm like, okay. Okay. But you learn, you learn that. You end up learning and stuff. So again, it's a battle sometimes, but I fully get what she's talking about. Again, that's with Rain, and that episode will be coming out in just a couple of weeks after the epic episode 600 comes out as well. Kim says, we want people to just land the plane. We don't need the whole dishwasher cycle. Ah! That's hilarious. I dig that. Yes. Land the plane. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Kim, you got me. Oh, that was great. But you're right. You are completely right. So that was a clip once again from episode 601. And as I mentioned, I'm back from not just Florida, but I'm back from the Navigator Conference as well. And there was just so much stuff that happened. One of the things that I want to show you right off the bat is another quick clip here, another quick video. I think I recorded about 10 of them, maybe 9. I don't know. I have to double check. But I have posted 4 now out of that total that I got while I was there. So one of the things that I was doing, which I'm going to do this in Colorado as well, because I have a few of these challenge coins left, okay? And I'm bringing them with me to Colorado, to the Colorado conference that is actually next week. I'm going to be out there doing the pre-con, and I'm going to set up, do the podcast as well. I'll have my camera and everything. And if you sit down with me to answer 3 questions, you will earn a coin. However, there's only a few left. So make sure to find me there at the conference in Colorado, because that is what we are going to be doing. And this, what I'm going to show you right now, is an example of that. So let me show you really quick. This is the one that I posted today.
My name is Katie Pratt, and I am with South Metro Fire. I've been in public safety communications for the past 15 years, and I've been with South Metro for 7. Something that I'm proud of in this profession is that a few years ago, there was a gentleman who was a healthy individual, and he was at his kid's soccer game, and he had a heart attack in the middle of the soccer game, and I was able to help resuscitate him on the soccer field using an AED or a defibrillator. And it was extremely rewarding because I was able to meet him afterwards, and I was able to meet his wife and his kids and all of that, and to see that I had actually made an impact on somebody's life, and it changed his life. It brought him back to life. It was a really incredible experience. I am in public safety because I think that everybody that gets into public safety and 911 wants to help people in some way, shape, or form, and I'm no different from that. And I love coming to work and being able to help people in any kind of capacity. I don't answer 911 calls as much anymore, but I'm a training supervisor, and I'm helping to train the dispatchers that are taking the calls on the front lines. And that's my way of still being able to give back, even though I'm not answering that phone every day.
Boom. Yeah, well done, Katie. And that was fun at the end. We're just like, boom, all right. I wanted to leave that part in there because it just adds to the awesomeness of this little mini story, Katie's mini story, and some of the other ones have that as well. So I wanted to leave that in there, but that is an example of what we will be doing in Colorado as well when I'm out there for the Colorado NENA APCO conference. And I'm excited to be there with all of you. It sounds like we're going to have a packed room for the pre-con that I'm going to be doing. And I will see you all the following day as well. Again, we'll be recording some of those. But it was so good to be out there with all of you at the conference. A big shout out once again to the IAED and Navigator for having me out there, for us having this partnership for probably a decade now. Holy crap. Yeah, for real. Thank you. Again, blessed to be able to do that, to be able to see everyone out there and just have an excellent time. I was out with Becca and Meredith out there. We did a class, and that session should be coming up. We recorded the audio, and we were just kind of capturing some of the thoughts and opinions and such of those who were there in the audience. And there were a few different questions. One of them was, what story would you tell someone who is questioning whether or not you are a first responder? Or what would you tell someone if they told you you're not a first responder? Like, what would you say? And we were asking folks this, but we were also saying, we want you to respond in a way that helps people understand, not in anger. That's not how we want you to respond, and that's not how you should respond. Respond with either a story, some facts, hard data, however you want to do it, but never respond in anger. And we did that for that hour, and it was such a good time. So thank you, all of you, for that. Again, it was superb. So while I was out there in Florida, one of the cool things that I got to do, for one, it took us a while to get there. There was so much traffic and so much construction that it took my son Logan and I forever to get there. Like, we left around 9 in the morning, and we didn't get there until the next day at about 6:30 in the morning. And we drove straight through, man. And it was nuts. We should have gotten there around 2:30 in the morning, but we didn't get there until 4 hours after that because of the amount of construction and traffic that we had to get through rather. And so we get there, and we get there on that Thursday morning going in, and we slept for a long time, and then we went and hung out with my sister, who was off because she wasn't feeling well. So we went and hung out with her and stuff, and brought her some food and such. And it was a good time. I got to go and go to some of the centers and visit people and talk with folks in the profession. And so all of it just came together. It was such a good time. And then there was something that happened that I was not expecting to happen. So first, go out to breakfast and meet with my family, the rest of my family that lives in Florida as well. Had a good time. It was so much fun. And it was Logan and I and my younger sisters. And we end up going through Frostproof, the city where I started my entire dispatch career. And we go through, and I'm showing my son Logan all of these different things. And we go to the plot of land where the police department used to be. And I got out, Logan got out, and I was just showing him. I was like, this is where I started, man. I was like, this is where I started my dispatching career. And we just stood there and we just took it in. And it was a very cool moment. A very cool moment. To be able to stand there with him and have him take it in as well. Of where everything that I do today started there. And of course, I got a little emotional because it's important to me. It's where I started. And I never thought I would be where I'm at in public safety. But that's where it started. So it was a cool moment to be able to have them there and just take that in. Well, a day later, or maybe 2 days later. Either way, it was right around that. My mom and I, my son Logan, my younger sister, and my brother-in-law, and my cousin Lisa, we go to eat breakfast. And we're sitting there, we're talking, and I see someone out of the corner of my eye. And I thought, is that who I think it is? I'm not sure. So I just kind of watched, like, peripheral style, not creeper style, just peripheral, to see if it was who I thought it was. And it was. And I got super nervous. Very nervous. Because the person that I saw, I had not seen this person face to face. I'm pretty sure face to face since we said goodbye when I left the PD to move back to Southwest Michigan and finishing off my career in Southwest Michigan, my dispatch career. We're friends on Facebook. We've sent messages back and forth. We've commented, reacted on each other's posts, but we had not seen each other or spoken face to face, I'm pretty sure, since that time, back in like 2004 or whatever it was, something like that. So again, I was super nervous. And I look at my mom and she goes, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, I need to do something. I'll be right back." So I get up and I walk over to this person. That is my chief. That is the person who hired me. Where all of this started. That is my chief. And as I walked up, I had the biggest smile on my face. And I remember I felt like all nervous inside. And I was like, I was thinking, hopefully he remembers me. Which is funny because, like I said, we've reacted, we've spoken, we've chatted on Messenger. But Mark the Cop, what's up, guy? Good evening to you as well. So I'm walking up and I have the biggest smile on my face, and I see him look past his wife and he goes and looks at me again, and he started smiling, and I was like, "Chief." And he's like, "Ricardo?" I was like, "Sir." And I shook his hand and gave him a hug. And I said, "I'm sorry." I said, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I saw you walking in. I wasn't sure if it was you at first. And, you know, we were just talking a little bit there. And it was one of the highlights of being there, because I have always said, like, I'm going to see him when I'm there, and we're going to get a chance to talk, and work, life, everything always just gets in the way. And this time he was right there, and I was like, I'm not missing this opportunity. And we were talking there, and I said to him, I said, "Really quick before I let you both go, I just want to say that I will always, always be grateful to you for taking a chance on me and giving me my start." And he smiled and he kind of chuckled and he goes, "You've done really well for yourself." and I'm proud of you. And oh man, I almost lost it. I almost lost it. I was just like, thank you. You have no idea how much that means. So it was an awesome moment. We shook hands and I hugged him again. And I said, I'll let you two get back to your breakfast. But again, thank you so much for everything. And I said, I have one last request. I said, is it okay if we take a selfie? And he's like, well, yeah, let's do it. I was like, all right. And that's where this picture comes from right here. It's not a selfie. I was going to take a selfie, but the chief's wife was like, I can take it if you want. And I was like, oh, cool. I was like, yes, please. So that is my chief. Thank you, sir, for everything. It was awesome. Fletch over here says, peace out, brother. Got a bolt. Hope to see you and everyone else in Long Beach at Neenah National. Hang in there and good luck on 600. Thank you, my friend. I will see you there. Long Beach, Cali. It is going to be an excellent one. It is going to be excellent. So yeah, a lot of good things, a lot of awesome things that happened. You know, during that time as well, I was at the conference. My son stayed with my mom and my younger sisters. Before we left, though, Kim says she'll be there too. Woo! All right. Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing you there. We were also watching old home movies on a VHS. And like I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this, I got one. But it was really cool to be there and to hear my kid's reaction. He's like, Dad, we like sound the same. I said, yeah. We do. We do kind of sound the same. But it was really cool to be able to experience that, everything that week, whether it was with family or with 911 professionals at Navigator, seeing the chief, like all of it. It just made it perfect. Now we are coming up to the end of tonight's open mic, but I want to share a couple last things with you. Okay. So as I mentioned, the Imagine Listening podcast is coming out. And I mentioned the last open mic how I was going to be doing that. And I believe I played these clips last time. Maybe not. But they have been played before, and I'm going to play them again because they are funny. But these are going to be part of the second episode for the beginning of the Imagine Listening podcast. And I want to play this now. So let's see. Let me make sure I got the right one. Okay, this looks like it might be the... Oh, maybe not. You know what? I'm just going to play it, and we'll see what happens. Oh, good. It's the right one. Okay, here we go.
I was working dispatch one night, and we had another dispatcher who was a licensed masseuse.
Oh, sweet.
I'm working radio. He comes up behind me, and he starts rubbing my shoulders, which he did all the time. Not a big deal. Well, when he started rubbing my shoulders, he hit my chair, which hit my foot pedal. About that time, I leaned back and I said, oh, God, Dave, that feels so good. All of a sudden, everybody's eyes get great big. He puts his hand over my mouth. He pulls me back. He says, starts pointing. So immediately I'm quiet. And then one of the officers says, radio, would you care to elaborate? Then all the phones rang.
So that clip right there, and actually really quick, over on Instagram, hola amiga, what is going on? Jojo from Latinas of 911 jumping in here on Instagram. What's up, yo? So that clip is from the first open mic session in Indiana at the Indiana Nina Abco conference. The first time I did Imagine Listening back in 2017. That's where that clip is from. And that is one of the most hilarious ones. I mean, there have been tons ever since, but I mean, think about it. 2017. We're in April of 2025. In 2027, I will have been doing that Imagine Listening session for a decade. A decade. Which is why I'm also splitting the podcasts. So Within the Trenches is one, Imagine Listening is another, and Imagine Listening is just the stories. You've got the emotionally intense episode, and then you've got the lighter side, which will be that balance. So all of that is going to be on there. It'll go from new to classic to new to classic. Again, as of right now, it's like 8.5 years worth of content. I cannot wait for you to check out the Imagine Listening podcast. With that said, I have got one more clip for you. So here we go.
So I took a call from a female driver who was on an undisclosed interstate and had no idea where she was, like no clue at all. There were no landmarks she could give me, nothing. So I asked her what she could see, and she said only a billboard. And I asked her, I said, ma'am, what's on the billboard? And she starts crying. And so, I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, the billboard. And I said, well, what does it say? And she said, how will you be judged? You're judging me, aren't you?
Oh, another classic right there. Another classic. That, just wait. That's all I'm saying. Just wait until you hear all of that stuff that's going to be coming out. And yes, Jojo over here says a classic now. Yes, a classic. A classic open mic session, response, all of it. However you want to put it. It is a straight up classic. Again, I cannot wait for all of you to check out Imagine Listening. And my mom just sent me a text message as that clip was playing, saying that she landed safely. Thank you, Lord, for keeping my mom safe. And thank you, Mom, for everything. From when we were out there to you coming over here. That's another thing. My daughters had no idea that she was with us. And it was a huge surprise. It was awesome. And then she was supposed to leave last week, Thursday. And about 40 minutes into our drive, she goes, I feel like I need to stay for just a little bit longer. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I need to stay. I said, are you serious? And she goes, yeah, I'm serious. I think I'm going to stay. And she did. She stayed the weekend, and like today's Monday. And so I just, right before I went live, my son Logan and I had just come back from dropping her off in Indianapolis to fly back home. But thank you, Mom. We had a lot of fun with you. I love you and I miss you. We all do. But I'm glad you made it home safely. Tell Crystal and Devon and Chris that I say hello. So the last thing I want to share with you as we're going into the wrap up of this open mic live which again, I am so happy I was able to be here with all of you and do this. And I will be seeing you next week as well. Well, I say next week is like this coming Sunday from Colorado. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm excited. So here we go. A few days ago, I just posted this yesterday, and holy shit, did it explode. That sounds kind of bad once I share with you on screen what I'm about to share with you. Words matter, Ricardo. Words matter. I posted this yesterday, and I was not expecting the response that I got. But I actually took the picture a few days prior to when I posted it. I'm just going to put it on the screen so that you can see it. Okay, so there it is right there. You know what's funny is that right here, it says share the fun. And over here in the corner, I'm just seeing this. It says the FU. Oh, that is funny right there. So I posted this yesterday with a hashtag of, it's just the letters, but standing for if you know, you know. And what it has to do with is so I have this story of something that happened to me when I was in dispatch. And it has to do with what you see here. So I was at the gas station and I saw this Red Bomb burrito. And I thought, holy moly, I haven't seen one of those in a while. So I grabbed it, and I grabbed the 12-ounce sugar-free Red Bull, and I took a picture with it. I took a selfie, and I posted it. I meant to post it the day that I found this, but I had to do it yesterday. Either way, I posted it, and it was hilarious, the responses that I got from people. People saying, no, don't do it. People saying, it's going to be bad. It's a bad idea. Bad idea. Because if you don't know the story, I had some stomach issues after eating this burrito and drinking this Red Bull in dispatch while on a call, and it was not pretty. Not pretty at all. I'm not going to go through the whole story because it takes a little time to tell the entire story. And I want to make sure, I want to be, I'm just trying to be mindful of your time. I mean, if I had like a video, I could definitely play it for you so that you could see it, because it's a pretty funny story. It's messed up what happened to me. And a lot of times my kids will say, I can't believe you tell that story all the time. And I'm like, yeah, I do. They're like, isn't that embarrassing? I'm like, look, if you can't laugh at yourself, what are we doing here? You got to be able to laugh at yourself every now and then. Because, it's okay. It's okay to laugh at yourself. And, when you have a video, play it. Some editing I'm going to have to do on this episode. But
that's what this is also all about. The lighter side of dispatch. Again, we started out with the hard and heavy stuff, and we're ending it now with the funny stuff. Because laughter is good medicine, and we're all here laughing together, and it's okay. And in the first part, and going on from now, it's okay not to be okay. Just remember that. If you ever need anything, reach out. And now to share one of my stories with you. I'll close with this. Yeah, I got enough time. Okay, so it was when I was in dispatch, obviously, of course, and I was going in for my 4-hour shift. I know. My dispatch center at the time, we had 3 12s and 1 4. It was always on a Wednesday that we had the 4-hour shift. So I'm going in for midnight shift. I'm going in for 1A to 5A. And as I'm going over there, I'm groggy, but, I got to stay awake, right? So I stop at the gas station. I'm also hungry. Right. So stop at the gas station. I get a can of Red Bull because I got to stay awake, right? Okay. And I'm starving. I'm looking around. That's a nice burrito there. I'm going to go ahead and get a burrito, a gas station burrito. It's called the Red Bomb, or maybe just the Bomb. Either way, the thing was enormous. And I thought, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. It was amazing, just not in the right way. So I get to work, right? Go into dispatch, and I was going to be sitting main phones. I go to heat up the food, and I got my can of Red Bull, come in, get briefed and everything, sit down. I chug that can of Red Bull, and I destroy that burrito. It was so good. So then I take a phone call. It's a phone call from the center or the county that's just south of us, and they've got a pursuit. So I think, I'm not sure, everyone is different. It's either be a well or a bolo. It's a be on the lookout is what I was putting out for the radio operator to send out, so they can be on the lookout for this car that's coming into, or going to be coming into our county possibly. So I'm talking to the person, and I start kind of twitching a little bit. I'm like, for real? I start getting a little bubble gut. It's like, blah, blah, blah. And I start twitching a little bit. I'm like, oh, hell no. Face starts getting hot, starts sweating. I'm like, this is not happening right now. Like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm trying to hold it in. And I sent a message over to my coworkers, and I was telling them, if I have to put them on hold and jump and leave, please take the phone. Because I don't know about your dispatch centers, but my dispatch center had a bathroom inside the actual center, which I was not about to drop heat there with them, right? So, yeah, see? Or I can go down the hall and do my thing. So, again, I'm talking, stuff is bubbling up, and it's talking to me, and I'm praying. I'm like, God, please help me. Come on, stick together, stay together, just... Because I'm a grown-ass man, right? But I'm about to lose my shit, literally, right there as I'm on this call. And I'm holding it in. I mean, it's horrible. I was sweating enough that if anybody was over there, they probably could have smelled like beef. Like, that's how bad I was sweating. It was horrible. So I put him on hold really quick, and I'm like, deuces, I gotta run. It was more like a tray, but I had to run. So I'm running fast enough that I'm sure that they can see the smoke coming from me. Hopefully it's smoke, not anything else. Hauling ass, I go over there, do my thing, and come back. They're still on the damn phone. I'm like, I'll go ahead and take the phone back. I'm like, all right, we're good. They're kind of chuckling. I'm like, yeah, screw you guys. So I get back on the phone, and the guy, for whatever reason, is like going in circles. Like, he was going, and then he was coming back. Like, no, they turned around again. They're going back again. I'm like, all right. And then again, my stomach starts talking again. And sequels, they're the worst, right? In the shit world, it's the same. It's bad. I'm trying to hold it back, and I'm talking to the person. I'm sure they could hear me, like, oh, I don't know what's going on. But I'm holding it enough that the gas is starting to travel up my back, so there's like back farts. So it's just horrible, you can feel it on your ribs, like clink, 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 clink. So I put him on hold really quick. I'm like, dude, I gotta go. And my buddy goes, you gotta poop, dude? I'm like, why? Why are you? So I go. take off, do my thing, come back. They're off the phone. I'm like, oh, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. The phone rings again, same people. Like, damn, put the stop sticks down already, you know? Take this guy out because I'm dealing with my own stuff right now. And for the third time, my trilogy of poo that happens starts coming up again. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I put him on hold, and I'm like, I'm sorry. There's no way I'm going to make it down. I'm going here. Not literally there. No. In the bathroom that's within the dispatch center, okay? So I go in there, but I turn the water on. I turn the fans on. Anything to mask the chaos that I'm about to go into. Because if you've seen Dumb and Dumber, that's exactly what was happening to me. I'm in there screaming, God help me. I finish and I come out and they're both laughing at me. And all I want to say is, screw you guys. I'm going to turn the heat up so that you can smell it. Because you're making fun of me. How about you? Yeah, let's do this. So years later, I am with my family. We're on vacation. We're going to Washington State. We stop in Montana to get gas and stuff. I'm walking through the gas station and I feel this twitch. I was like, whoa, what's going on? And I felt compelled to turn around. And there's a cooler of Red Bomb burritos next to a shelf that has Red Bulls. And all I could think was, screw you, Montana. That's my story.
That's what happened. That is what that Red Bull in Red Bomb burrito is all about. Now, when that video was from 5 years ago, when I first started telling that story, and I have perfected that bitch since then. Oh, that is my own like comedy stand-up. But that shit happened. Literally, that shit happened. Oh my God. That is so much fun. My kids think I'm crazy. And you know, that's okay. So where are you at now? What is your number on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. Where are you? I am way above a 10. And again, I just want to thank you, all of you, for everything. Because it's been a great ride, journey, all of it. And there is so much more to come. You have no idea. I can't wait to reveal everything else that is coming up. It is going to be awesome. So again, thank you. I had a lot of fun with you tonight, sharing what was going on in Florida, what's been going on this past week, and getting to see the chief, getting to spend that time out there in Florida with my kid, but also my mom, my siblings, my brother-in-law, and the rest of my family as well, and everyone I got to see there. Thank you all so very much. It was just such a good time, and I cannot wait to head out to Colorado next week for the pre-con and for the conference itself. We are going to have a good time. Recognize? Yeah, we are. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, Leader Next Gen Core Services. Shout out to subscribers as always, but especially all of you who watch, listen, support, and share. Thank you. And if you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, or you ever have any topics or anything for the DRT, which is the Dispatchers Roundtable, you can simply go to that link right there. Links with 2i's.co/WTT podcast. You'll find everything there. Email, how to sign up for an episode, where to find the books, where to get onto the free community, the trenches, where to get podcast merchandise. All of it is there. You can find it there. Check it out. Thank you very much. And this can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as X and Instagram. Jojo says, thank you for the laugh. She's at a 10. Thank you for being amazing, as always. And all of you, thank you. You can also see clips on Facebook and Instagram Reels as well as TikTok. So you can see all of that there. And then you can listen to Imagine Listening Soon, dropping in just a couple of weeks, anywhere you listen to podcasts, but also and especially the flagship OG show, Within the Trenches podcast. You can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and we will see you all in the next one.